morning and happy Saturday. Welcome back to today's video. And if you are new here, welcome here. My name's Alora and I make motherhood, faith, and lifestyle content. So if you'd like to stick around, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. So like I mentioned, today is Saturday and it's kind of a different kind of Saturday because I am currently in my house by myself. My kids spent the night at my parents' house, and like I mentioned in last week's vlog, Kyle is now working at Lowe's for the summer. So he just left to head over to Lowe's to work for literally the day. I think his hours today are 10 to 7. So literally all day. I was actually FaceTiming my mom yesterday to check up on the kids, see how they were doing. And I was telling her that I think the last time I was home alone by myself for a day was when I was pregnant with Caspian, which was over 3 years ago. So it has literally been years since I've been in my house by myself. And so it's definitely very quiet right now. And I have all this time that I'm what do I do with my time? Do I do nothing or do I do everything? What do I do? So as I was thinking, what am I going to do with all this free time? What am I going to do? And I do think I want to hang out in the house here for a little bit, do some basic chores that I like to just do every day just to have them done. I also need to go grab my little mean green machine. It's like a fabric cleaner and spot clean a part of the rug. There is some beautiful blue marker artwork on the rug done by one of my kids. I literally have no idea which kid did it, but it was kind of my fault. I should have been supervising them. The other day, Caspian had asked to color and I was totally fine with it. And he asked to color with the markers. I was a little hesitant in the beginning, but I was like, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. So I let him color with the markers and I think I left for a minute to go do something. I can't even remember. And I come back to find this beautiful doodle of blue marker on my very new rug. And like I said, I still have no idea which child did it because both were out here coloring. And even though my youngest might not have comprehended exactly what I was telling them, I know Caspian did. And I basically just sat them down and said, we keep our coloring on the paper and not on anything else. So I have yet to clean that marker off the rug, but I'm going to today because I have no excuse because I have all the time in the world right now and I want to get that cleaned up while I have the time. It is currently 10 right now, so I think I'll spend the rest of the morning here at home and then eat lunch, and then I think after lunch is when I want to go do some more self-care things. And self-care for me is thrift shopping and coffee. So I think I'm going to stop at McDonald's and grab myself an iced coffee. You guys, don't sleep on the McDonald's iced coffee. It's actually so good. And it's definitely one of the cheaper places to purchase iced coffee. I mean, yeah, it's very basic, maybe very mediocre, but I'm kind of a basic girly myself, so. And then once I have my iced coffee in hand, I will be heading over to Goodwill and taking all the time in the world to just browse and see what they have, see what kind of hidden treasures are within the racks. From there, I will be heading over to my parents, eating dinner with them, and then I'm going to load the kids up and we're gonna head home. And that's kind of what my Saturday is gonna look like. I also wanna show you guys our new deck. It is not yet done. It's almost done. Our contractor is going to come out tomorrow and finish the rest of it, but I want to show you guys our new deck. If you watched our May budget with us video, I think we mentioned the fact that we are replacing our back deck with a bigger, so safer deck, and it's almost done, and I'm excited to show you guys what it looks like real quick. It is definitely much bigger than our last one. If you remember our last one, you could barely fit a chair on it. So we extended the steps out a little bit so it's not so close to the house, and then there is some space over here. And then he just basically needs to add a railing and then a cap up top right there. So it's not a big gap right there. You see that? He just needs to add a board on top and it will be done. We have been wanting to replace our back deck since moving into this house, I think almost 4 years ago. And the wood was so rotted and just completely overtaken by that mossy green stuff that literally plants were growing out of the wood. It was so it just needed replaced. And the previous owners that lived here did not take care of this house at all. It was not well loved, unfortunately. And so there was just a lot of fixing up to do due to not taking care of your house. And when you don't make those small repairs in the beginning, it turns into a bigger issue and therefore a bigger repair. And that's just kind of what the previous owners did to this house, is they neglected those small issues, and then they turned into bigger issues, and it just was not very well taken care of in my opinion. I just feel like if you're going to own a home, you should be a good steward of that home. And that's why like fixing up this house has been so important for us, and replacing the things that need replaced, because we want to steward this house well, and we also want it to be safe for our kids to grow up in. And it's also investing in this house, because who knows what the future holds. Like, we would love to stay here forever, but we don't know what the future holds. The Lord could totally open up a door for a different house. Who knows? Like, we love this house so much. This house just has our heart. It is very small here. That is, like, I would say the one downside to this house is it's small. But honestly, that doesn't really bother me, because it has never hindered our ability to raise our kids. And at that point, it's not really an issue. As our kids get older, and we also would love a third, the house might be actually too small, but we will cross that bridge when we get there. I'm gonna sit you guys down and get some things done. I'm gonna probably start off by tackling the thing I like want to least do, which is scrub this marker off the rug. But I know once I do it, I'll be glad I did it. While I fold all these towels, I just kind of want to sit down and have a little chat with you guys, like I do often whenever I have to do laundry. Honestly, like, chatting with you guys while doing laundry just makes it more bearable. So I kind of wanted to talk about parenthood and marriage. Those two things are incredibly important and will be for the rest of my life, because I will always be a wife and I will always be a mother. And I have the perspective of, you know what, we have one life, and I'm gonna give it my all and make sure that I just do my best in both roles. You know, it's like, it's kind of like one of those things where I'm never getting married again. Kyle is my one and only. And I always tell him that we're leaving this earth together. We are going together. I don't want to live this life without him. And, you know, why am I gonna cry? Why am I gonna cry? He's my forever, and like, we're gonna do this life together. Like I said, I'm very passionate about these things, and so whenever I think towards the end of my life, it kind of rips my heart out a little bit. The one part of aging that scares the living daylights out of me is not death. It's actually being alone, more specifically being a widow. Like that part of my life I'm dreading so much. You know, the last time I talked about aging, I bawled my eyes out. Anyways, all that to say, that is why I'm going to give my absolute all when it comes to my marriage and when it comes to my children. Like, I'm going to give my absolute best. And like, that's part of the reason why I absolutely love sharing my journey here on YouTube, is because I'm going to look back at these videos 50 years from now, and you know what? I'm going to be so proud of this Alora. I am. I'm going to be so proud of her. And so the reason I kind of wanted to talk about marriage and kids is because I think sometimes the world looks at marriage as a trap and looks at parenthood as a trap. I just want to be very vocal in the fact that finding true love is one of the greatest feelings in the world. Like, finding that forever to live the rest of your life with, it's the most beautiful journey. And then extending that love by having children together, like, there's nothing that can quite compare to that. Now, if you are confident in the decision of you want to be single or you don't want to have kids, and you were like sure of yourself, and you're not just falling into this propaganda that is better for you. Paul was single, and that's where God wanted him to be. So like, I'm not saying being single is horrible. I'm not saying that at all. But if you are someone who is maybe starting to believe the propaganda of marriage and parenthood being a trap, I just caution you on that, because you might, as you age, get to the point in life where you regret that decision. And I know that there's a lot of married people and also parents that watch my channel, so this may not even pertain to you. But if this video is being watched by just that one person who's on the fence and they're not sure what to do, all I can say is you will never regret finding true love, and you will never regret becoming a parent. And those two things will be one of the greatest joys in your life. Now, I will say there is no greater joy than being a Christian and having a relationship with the Lord. There's no greater joy. And the beautiful thing about that is for everyone. Like, that is for the person who's choosing the single life. That is for the person who is married and either can't have kids or just doesn't want kids. That is for the people who decide to settle down, get married, and have kids. Like, salvation is for everyone, and salvation is the greatest joy. There's nothing greater than that. I was not expecting to cry. I get it. It's weird to cry on the internet. But sometimes it just happens, and you just go with the flow when that happens. Part of my channel is being very real and honest with you guys, and you just heard one of my greatest fears, which is loneliness. And you also just heard some of my greatest joys, which is being a Christian, being a wife, and being a mother. All right, I just had a good cry sesh, had a great conversation about marriage and children. Let's go make lunch. I currently have a deli roll toasting in the air fryer. I just spritzed some olive oil on it, so I'm going to toast that up. And then I have some leftover ground beef Philly cheesesteak that I'm going to heat up in the microwave, and then going to put it on top of the toasted bun. Then you put some sliced provolone on top of the cheesesteak, and then you toast it once again in the air fryer to like melt the cheese. I have found, like, when it comes to like cheeseburgers or some sort of like hot sandwich, the best way to elevate it is literally by toasting the bun. It tastes so much better when the bun is toasted compared to when the bun is not. So I always make sure that when I make like some sort of hot sandwich, or basically any sort of hot meal that uses a bun, to toast the buns up. If you can't tell, Kyle and I just binged Next Level Chef, so I'm like using Gordon Ramsay words right now. Something that totally lives rent-free in my mind when it comes to Gordon Ramsay is the idiot sandwich. Iconic. You guys have no idea how excited I am to eat this sandwich. It's like the budget-friendly version of a Michelin star meal. I actually have a reel on how to make this, so I will link that in the cards above for you guys. And toast the buns if you make this recipe, because it is worth it. You will regret not toasting the buns. So toast the buns if you make this for yourself. I'm gonna go devour this like the big back that I am, and also go watch a show. I will be heading out the door here pretty soon. I had to put on a jacket because it is still kind of cold outside. Now, when I'm filming this video, it is the end of May, but by the time I upload it onto YouTube, it will be like second week of June or something like that, third week of June. So hopefully by the time you guys are seeing this, the weather will have gotten warmer. But as of right now, end of May, it is still jacket weather. Like, it's so cold. Honestly, guys, that is like, I feel like that's not our usual. I feel like by this point of May, it's definitely t-shirt weather, but it has very much been jacket weather. So it's at least sunny outside. I'll take a beautiful sunshiny day over a gloomy day any day. So like, as much as I don't like the fact that I have to put on a jacket, I am grateful for the fact that it is nice and sunny. Let's head out the door and go get some retail therapy on a budget. I'm going to get on some worship music and blast that while I drive. I love my music loud. Which is kind of funny because I married a man who prefers to listen to his music more on like the quiet end, and I'm like so loud you can barely have a conversation kind of person. I can remember many times in high school just driving through the country roads with my windows down and blasting my music as loud as I can, and that is like such a core memory for me. I have not changed much. I will say I don't blast it quite as loud because I do have kids and I like to be able to hear them, but You know what? I am by myself in the car today and we're gonna blast it as loud as I can. I wish I could roll the windows down, but it's too cold for that. Plus all my postpartum baby hairs would be like everywhere. Vanilla iced coffee, and have a good day. Toasty outside, so I have the AC running. Hopefully you can hear me, but I thought I would do a quick Goodwill haul. I adjusted you guys because you can see the name of this grocery store behind me and it's a local one, so kind of need to keep that covered. But let's get into our little haul. I got this cute little basket for $1. I was thinking I could like put things in it, and then I got another basket. This was $2. This is going to be for toys to put into Caspian's like little white toy cubby for the toy display. And then I found the cutest little flower pillow. This was $2. I'm going to go home and wash this, but I thought this would be so cute for the breakfast nook, or even just really cute to put on the couch during the season of spring. I also found this cute little pop. I thought this was so cute, and it was only $1, and I'm gonna put my succulent that I have at home in this pot. That was kind of like all the home decoration things. Let's move on to clothing. Starting off with this. This was a steal. This was $4.50. I got these for Kyle. He's been needing another pair for a while. If you have a husband, you know how men are with their clothes. They literally wear them until they're like practically disintegrating with holes everywhere. That is my husband. My husband, I can't remember the last time he actually has shopped for himself in terms of wardrobe. I tend to buy him things because it gets to the point where it's like, babe, you look homeless. And then I found the cutest, I could not pass this up. I found the cutest two-piece set for Ellery. It's size 2T, so she definitely needs to grow into it. It was like $1.50 or something like that. And then last but not least, I found myself a skirt, and it's just this really nice silky printed skirt that I really like how neutral it is, so I can put a lot of colors with it. So yeah, I got myself this skirt. This was like $3.50, I think. In total, I spent, where'd the receipt go? Oh, there's the receipt. In total, I spent $17.70. So not bad. I mean, I always like to put things into perspective for people because people think thrifting is gross. Whatever, like you can totally have that opinion. I just don't share it. These Adidas sweatpants alone, brand new, are probably like $50. I would say at most 50, maybe at least 35. So I got all of this stuff for less than the price of these brand new. You wonder why I thrift? This is why I thrift, because you just can't beat secondhand prices. And it also, in a very roundabout way, you also aren't supporting any sweatshops. If I had to guess, this was probably made in a sweatshop. So sad, but that's a reality. And I'm technically not supporting that when I buy secondhand. I'm going to head on over to my parents and go eat dinner with them. And I probably won't talk to you guys again until later on tonight when I'm home and like getting around for bed. So in the meantime, just enjoy this little montage of my evening, and I will talk to you guys later. It is quite a few hours later, and I have been home for quite a while now. It is 10:11. I am about to get myself ready for bed, and I just kind of wanted to give a little recap of what my evening looks like. So I headed over to my parents after shopping at Goodwill, and my dad grilled out for dinner. We had some barbecue chicken and some green beans. It was really good. I totally forgot to get footage of it because I was just so hungry. I just wasn't thinking about videoing the meal, so totally forgot to do that. But it was nice eating dinner with them. And then after dinner, I loaded the kids up and we headed home. And when we got home, Kyle was actually home from work. He put Caspian to bed, I put Ellery to bed, and then we've just been kind of catching up about each other's day here like the past hour and a half. So that's just kind of what our evening looked like. I'm going to end the vlog here. Thank you guys so much for spending this Saturday with me. It was just such a fun, very kind of unique Saturday. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye, friends.